Hello everyone, it's Mankiller here with another unboxing video. Now this is a sponsored video as the products were provided by PowerA. They're an online retailer that sells gaming accessories like controllers, toys, and collector's items. I'd also like to give a shout out to Screenwave Media for giving me the opportunity to unbox stuff from PowerA. Now the first two products they sent me are these Super Mario collector's pins. There's one random pin for every box, and the two pins I got were Wario and Bowser. Now these are actually not the right pins that I actually asked for them. They actually have a Mario Kart line of pins, but for some reason there must have been like a mix-up in the ordering process and I got these regular Mario pins instead. Here's a picture of what I was actually supposed to receive on screen. Now for an up-close look at each pin, here's Wario. These pins have like a metallic feel to them. And here's Bowser. And here are all the other pins in the Super Mario line. There's also the rare Gold Mario. Now the next product they sent me was this Super Mario wired Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. They have another Pro Controller like this, but with the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild design. So let's go ahead and unbox this. Here's the USB cable. And here's the actual controller. Now this comes with 6 removable and interchangeable analog stick caps, so you can see I can just pop that off from there, and I can just put one of these extra ones onto here. Very easy to put on and off. And one other thing about the different tops and control sticks is that some of them are different length. As you can see, this one is much taller than the right-hand side, and also the top of them is either concave or dome-shaped. The concave one is basically like a bowl, and this one is obviously, as I mentioned, a dome. I find that the concave ones are a little bit easier to use, especially when you do the rotating motion, because if you use the dome-shaped ones, it's a little bit harder to keep your thumb on the stick, because as you see, as I go faster and faster, it's a lot harder for me to keep my thumb on the right stick, since that one is dome-shaped. But with the concave one, it's right within that bowl, so that way it stays in there. Here's a side-by-side comparison with the official Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. They're about the same size, and comparing how the analog sticks feel, it does feel like that the PowerA controller has a bit more loose analog sticks compared to the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. I do feel like the analog sticks trying to go back to their original position on this controller, but here it feels like they're not actually fighting against me inputting some direction. Comparing the button presses to the original controller, the plus, minus, and home and screenshot buttons do feel like they go a bit farther before actual presses, but those buttons aren't too important to like actual games. The D-pad feels pretty much spot on to the original controller. The A, B, X, Y buttons are a bit smaller compared to the official controller. Seems like they take about the same time to actually register like a press or something. The shoulder buttons are slightly smaller compared to the official controller. With all that said, let's go and test this out with the game. Alright, here we are with some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And holding the controller in my hand, it does feel like I'm playing with the official controller, so it feels very natural. So let's see how it is with the inputs. And let's go! Just randomly spamming the button. Yeah, it does feel like it's one-to-one with the response time. The control sticks do feel a bit weird with how the tops of it is like sort of like a bowl shape, how to describe it. But actually, the different analog sticks have like different, I believe, different textures to them. So I think if I just change out to a different control stick, it could actually improve how the sticks feel. Now let's go for this big blue ultra shortcut. Nice, nice. Still feels as if I were holding the official controller. Easy to do. Now let's see if this has motion controls. It does not actually support motion controls. I just turned out the tilt controls and I'm not actually tilting whatsoever. But actually it's trying to go to the left for some reason. But I suppose that's no surprise with wired Pro Controllers. And actually a wired Pro Controller, even if you hooked up the official Nintendo Switch Pro Controller to a USB cable, then the NFC reader gets disabled. I believe also the gyro sensor also gets turned off, so that's why the motion controls weren't actually working. And there we have it, playing with the PowerA wired switch controller. Feels pretty nice. That was just a short-term test, so I'll have to see how it holds up in the long term. I'll put that in the description of how it feels after playing it for like about a week or so. Now for my final thoughts on these products. The collector spins aren't really worth it. I mean, they cost like $5 each, and you can't choose which one you want, so even if these were the Mario Kart pins that I was supposed to receive, I still would not have recommended them. The controller, on the other hand, is really nice. It feels just like the official Nintendo Switch Pro controller, except that it's wired. It does have a couple of disadvantages. Obviously, it's a wired Pro controller, so you won't be able to play in handheld mode unless you have additional accessories like a USB to USB-C converter. There's no NFC reader, motion controls, or vibration for this controller. And it's only $30 on PowerA, so that's $40 cheaper compared to the $70 official Nintendo Switch Pro controller. So that's gonna do it for this video. Once again, shout out to PowerA for sending me these products for free. If you want to buy these items for yourself, I'll be putting links to them on PowerA in the description below. That's gonna do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you all next time.